episode of Times Drive. I'm Juhi Pandey, and today we're going to kick off with, well, Facebook. As you all know, we have an official group on Facebook with over 700 active and sometimes very passionate members. While there are many topics of discussions, one caught our attention for the sheer number of opinions, comments, and passionate rhetoric. Now, ever since we had the community up and running, the one debate that's burned up the message boards is this: which is the best 150cc bikes of them all? The gang decided that they'd had enough of this and rode out to settle the debate.
And so we decided to bring this matter to an end. We brought along the Hero Honda Hunk, the Suzuki GS150R and the Yamaha FZ16. Kabir is here to help, of course. And now let me introduce you to a previously unseen member of the Times Drive team, our producer, Anuj Rai. Now the thing is that Anuj is normally quite a chatty chap, but the minute he's in front of the camera rather than behind it, which is where he normally is, he freezes. But his insights are valuable too, so Anuj is going to give us his opinions of the bike he's riding with the help of animated hand gestures and placards.
Start with the newest bike of the bunch, the Suzuki GS150R. Now when you hear of Suzuki, word association brings to mind images of the blazers like Hayabusa and the GSXR. Unfortunately though, what you get here is this. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with this bike, but it's just a little old school, designed straight up.
Unless of course you're riding alongside the Yamaha FZ16, which takes the idea of what a 150cc bike should look like and throws it right out of the window. This bike looks like a badass and makes you feel like one. Designed according to an idea of what the Japanese call the triple macho concept, the FZ is macho enough. Now when it comes to looks, second place behind the mind-bending FZ is this, the Hero Honda Hunk. It's amazing how the guys at Hero Honda have taken what is essentially a 12-year-old motorcycle and kept recreating it. Now the Hunk is a man-sized bike, plenty of bulges and curves to increase bulk, but no split grab rail or LED lamps, and no digital console. No digital console? In these modern times? Shocking. And then Hero Honda have gone and named this bike the Tragic Hunk. Anuj, do you like the name of this bike? Do you think it's needy and perhaps a little depressing? That's what we thought.
Which brings us to the most important part of the motorcycle, the engine. Under my seat is a 150cc engine pushing out 13.8 brake horsepower. And the power delivery is smooth and everywhere. Low, mid and top range. This bike also comes with another segment first, a 6th gear, which really comes in handy when you're accelerating hard.
Now the problem with this bike is not what many would call a problem. The GS is more refined than Prince Charles, but that's not what I want from a motorcycle.
I want a bike which roars when I start it up and doesn't whine like a mixie.
Now the FZ shares the same engine block with its high-flying cousin, the R15, but that's where the similarities end. While the sports bike's got fuel injections and liquid cooling, this bike is carb-fed and air-cooled.
Here are the thrill seekers, corrupt and immoral.
This motorcycle feels like a motorcycle. Acceleration is hard and dirty and you'll go fine all the way up to 80 or so, which is where this bike starts losing its punch.
Too much, too often.
Now like we said earlier, the Hero Honda Hunk shares the same 149cc engine block with the CBZ Extreme and the Achiever. Now this engine has been around the Hero Honda market for so long that essentially nothing really can go wrong with it.
Too often.
Hero Honda have fiddled a bit with the airflow into the engine, changing the dynamics a bit. The new and improved engine does fly off to about 3000 RPM, but the rough nature of the air-cooled motor does creep in at higher revs, while reaching its top speed of about 110 km per hour.
For the GS, it's the same story with the handling as it is with the engine. It's great. Suzuki have gone with twin gas-charged shocks, which give you great ride and fit enough handling. But that's about it. There's no sense of excitement, no sense of fun with this bike. It's too much lab coat and too less leather jacket.
Which is loads different from the Yamaha with its short wheelbase, fat monoshock suspension at the back and almost flat handlebar, which gives you a crouched forward, engaged ride and provides you so much feel, it's amazing. Now add to that you've got a 140/60 tire at the back, which is so wide and grippy that it makes this bike even more fun than a lap dance on a Ferris wheel.
Shops to moves, tops to tools, cops to calls, shout to scream, sleep to dream, split to scene, what's it all mean?
Also fun is the ride and handling of the hunk. But we aren't really surprised because this is, after all, a Hero Honda.
Got this feeling in my head.
Now this is the part where we tell you about things like mileage and prices. But the fact is, all these three bikes are about equally kitted out with similar mileage figures and prices that range between 65 to 75,000 rupees.
Wow, it speaks. So how does this comparison end? Well, at this point, I'd like to introduce to you something that we call the hot test. Now, which of these bikes makes you look cool? Which of these bikes would you give a second look to? Well, we could answer these questions for you, but we're not going to because these answers are never objective. You've got all the facts, you decide. Well, actually, I've changed my mind. I'd pick the FC16 anytime, any day.